If you want to start a commercial painting business, there are 3 huge mistakes you need to avoid that almost wiped my business out. And the worst part is, they were completely avoidable. So in this video, I'm going to show you what those 3 mistakes are, what they actually cost me, and exactly what I do differently so you can build a successful full-time commercial painting company the first time around. To start, I have to show you the first mistake that's going to make or break your first year in business. When I first started out, I thought all I had to do was win every commercial painting job that came my way. But one of those jobs quickly turned into a nightmare, all because I didn't stop and ask if this job was actually worth taking. So your first year in business isn't about saying yes to every opportunity. It's about learning which jobs to actually say no to. And the jobs that you say no to are usually the same 4 types. Taking too big of jobs. These jobs are simply just out of your capability starting out. I would say anything over $10,000 is nothing you should be starting out with. Next, working with general contractors. These are GCs who manage new construction buildings, and they will gladly smile and hand you the job, then squeeze your price down so tight that you end up working 3 weeks straight for nothing. But you still got to show up every day because you signed the contract. Next is apartment turns. They only want your price per square footage, but it doesn't work out because every square foot is different from the other square foot. So what they really want is a cheap price, and they expect every wall to be painted perfectly or they won't pay you. Customers with unclear expectations. The warning signs are when they start pointing out every flaw in the building before you've even started, and they tell you every contractor they hired was terrible. That's not a client with high standards. They're the ones who won't pay you no matter how good the job actually is. So before you ever show up to bid the job, just ask yourself, is this job just too big for something for me to handle? Is this the wrong type of commercial client I should be working with? And do they actually know what they want? If any of those answers didn't hold up, I would just walk away. And yeah, maybe 1 or 2 of those you could be leaving money on the table. But here's the thing, that's a lot easier than spending weeks working for free or all the stress that's going to create and you have to stay up late at night. Now, once you've figured out which job to take, the second mistake happens after the work is done. Most beginners start seeing the money that actually comes from painting commercial buildings, and that's all they focus on. But the only way that you're going to build a successful, profitable business actually comes down to what happens after the job. So the only way that you're going to make it your first year in business is that you're going to have to get really good at 4 things. Number 1 is getting leads. These are the people who need their commercial buildings painted. And you need a system to find them consistently, because if your lead flow dries up, you don't have a business. 2 is estimating your jobs. This is accurately calculating your labor, materials, production rates, overhead, and profit for each job. You need to arrive at the right number so customers understand and accept it. 3 is managing the project. Here's a mistake I made. After you get the job, it's tempting to rush the entire process just to get paid. The important part that you got to understand is commercial clients are going to be your repeat customers because commercial buildings need painted all the time. And they also are going to refer you to others. If you don't take care of them, you can ruin your reputation fast. So what I would do differently is communicate thoroughly throughout the entire process. Tell them the timelines you're going to start and finish. Ask if they have any questions when you start the job, and make sure that your subcontractors know exactly what the clients expect. Then, when the job is done, ask for a Google review. This builds your credibility online and reassures the client they made the right choice when they hired you. 4 is collecting the payment. I painted an entire building, finished the job, and completely forgot to invoice the client. The client never reminded me, and to be fair, that's not their job. I went an entire month without the payment. So here's what I do differently. Collect a 30% deposit before you start, and the remaining balance as soon as the job is done. Just set that expectation up front with every commercial painting client. So here's something that I actually built. It's a free guide that walks you through job tracking, collecting your payments, everything you need to get paid properly from day one. Just scan this QR code on the screen and grab it free. Now, setting that expectation up front with the commercial client only works if you know about this third mistake when you meet the commercial client for the first time. The first time I met with a commercial client, it felt like a circus. Complete disorder. Just me fumbling through the conversation. It felt like I had no business being there. And the thing is, commercial clients know immediately when you're nervous. So the only way to calm down isn't by faking it. It's about knowing more about the job than the commercial client does. So before you ever show up to meet the client, call them first. Never just show up to the project to bid on it. So the phone call is the prep work. It's where you get the information you need to walk into the meeting feeling like you know exactly what you're talking about. Here's the 4 simple questions to ask them on the call. What areas need to be painted? Because if you show up not knowing whether it's an interior or exterior or both, you can't give them an accurate price. And nothing kills credibility faster than you showing up unprepared to answer basic questions about the job. Second, when do you need this project done by? Because if their deadline is in 2 weeks and your schedule's packed, you need to know that before you waste an hour bidding the job that you're never going to be able to take. Number 3 is ask them who's making the final decision. Because if you spend an entire hour walking the job with someone that can't approve the job, you're going to have to do the whole thing again with the person who actually can approve you. Number 4, what is the one thing most important to you on this project? This is probably one of the most important questions on the list because every client has one thing that they actually care about more than anything else. That could be their timeline, the cleanliness of the job, communication, or the price. If you don't know what's going on, when you actually meet with the client the first time, you're probably going to be guessing, and more likely you're going to be wrong. So now, by the time you show up in person, you already understand the project, you already know what they care about, and that's what makes you feel comfortable. But here's the thing. Once you've got the client in front of you, you still need to know what keeps this whole business running every day. And nobody told me this part. Most people quit right before the business starts making $10,000 a month because they think something is wrong with them. Like they aren't cut out to run this type of business. But nothing's wrong. They just don't understand the cost of doing business. So let me show you what nobody told me. And I have it broken down into 3 different parts. Number 1, sunk costs. The first year, I bought an expensive software for someone that said they understand tech, actually had no clue what they were talking about, and I lost every single penny. So the thing is, you just need to understand that throughout the life of your business, you're going to purchase things. You're going to spend money on something you think that is very valuable that's going to help you. But then you're actually going to lose all of it and you're never going to make money from it. And in fact, sometimes it's not even going to work. It's just called sunk in costs. 2, betrayal. A commercial client is going to leave you, say bad things that aren't true, or go with someone cheaper after you did everything right. So you're going to experience betrayal and it's going to suck. But that's not a sign to quit. In fact, it's just a part of doing business. And it happens to every commercial painting business owner. Number 3 is seasonal. Just know that the winter season is going to be slow. That's not your business dying. It's just the winter season. Just use the slow time to get better at business. Sharpen your process and be ready when the busy season hits. But here's the thing. Notice the centerpiece where they all connect. It's not red like you need to stop. It's green because all 3 of these things are temporary. And every reason beginners quit in their first year is temporary. The reason why I started making $10,000 a month wasn't because I was the most talented. So all you have to do differently is know that it's not permanent and just keep going. And if you're serious about making this work, I put together a free guide that walks you through landing your first commercial painting job, outsourcing the work, and running the whole thing in your spare time. Go grab it in the link description. Thank you for your attention. We're in this together. See you on the next one.